Hey everyone, today I want to talk about 10 games that I genuinely believe deserve a perfect score. Some of these came out years ago and are still the best at what they do. Some are more recent. All of them are games that every gamer should experience before they die. This is not a ranked list. Every single game on here gets a 10 out of 10 from me, and I am going to tell you exactly why. Let's get into it.
Red Dead Redemption 2 was released in 2018 by Rockstar Games, and it remains to this day one of the most detailed and emotionally powerful open-world games ever created. You play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw riding with the Vanderlinde gang in 1899 America, the final years of the Wild West, as civilization and law enforcement close in from every direction. Arthur is not a hero. He's a complicated man trying to hold on to something worth believing in as everything around him falls apart, and his story is one of the most affecting in all of gaming. The world Rockstar built for this game is unlike anything else. Animals behave according to real ecosystems. Towns have daily routines. Weather affects gameplay. NPCs remember what you did to them weeks earlier in real time. You can watch a logging company clear a forest over multiple in-game days. The level of detail is genuinely staggering, and it never feels like a gimmick. It all serves the atmosphere of a world slowly dying. If you have not played Red Dead Redemption 2, stop what you are doing. This is not just a great game. It is a piece of art that happens to be interactive, and Arthur Morgan's story will stay with you long after the credits roll. There is a reason people still talk about this game in 2026.
Uncharted 4: A Thief's End was released in 2016 by Naughty Dog and serves as the final chapter in Nathan Drake's story. Years after supposedly retiring from treasure hunting, Nathan is pulled back in by his long-lost brother Sam, who claims to be in danger. What follows is a globe-spanning adventure across Madagascar, Italy, Scotland, and a hidden pirate colony, all leading to one of the most emotionally satisfying endings in gaming history. Naughty Dog pushed the PS4 to its absolute limit with this game. The environments are breathtaking. Dense jungle, crumbling ruins, rain-soaked cliffs, and the character animations set a standard that many games still haven't matched. Nathan Drake moves and interacts with the world in ways that feel completely natural. The gunplay is tight, the climbing is fluid, and the set pieces are some of the most spectacular moments in any action game ever made. The Madagascar Jeep chase alone is worth the price of entry. What makes Uncharted 4 perfect is how it balances spectacle with heart. This is a game about what you give up for the life you choose, and it handles that theme with genuine maturity. If you have a PS4 or PC and have not played this, you are missing one of the finest action-adventure games ever made. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was released in 2015 by CD Projekt Red, and it fundamentally changed what people expected from open-world RPGs. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter, searching for his adopted daughter, Ciri, across a war-torn continent. The world is enormous, 2 major land masses plus a separate island region, and every inch of it feels handcrafted and alive. There are no empty fields. Every location has a story, a reason to exist, and something worth discovering. What separates The Witcher 3 from other RPGs is the quality of its writing. The main story is excellent, but it is the side quests that make this game legendary. Quests that seem simple on the surface reveal unexpected depth and consequence. Characters you meet briefly leave lasting impressions. Moral choices have no obvious right answer. The game trusts you to engage with its world seriously, and it rewards that engagement consistently throughout a 100+ hour experience. The Blood and Wine expansion alone, released as downloadable content, is better than most full games. CD Projekt Red set the bar so high with The Witcher 3 that they struggled to clear it themselves with their next project. In 2026, a decade after its release, it still holds up completely. If you have never played it, start now. Alan Wake 2 was released in 2023 by Remedy Entertainment, and it is one of the most audacious, creative, and visually stunning games ever made. The original Alan Wake came out in 2010 and built a passionate cult following. The sequel takes everything that made the first game interesting and expands it into something genuinely unlike anything else in gaming. You play as both Alan Wake, a horror writer trapped in a dark dimension called the Dark Place, and FBI agent Saga Anderson, who is investigating a series of ritualistic murders connected to Alan's story. The game plays with the boundaries between fiction and reality in ways that no other game attempts. The Dark Place sequences, where Alan must literally rewrite his story to change his environment, are some of the most original gameplay moments in recent memory. Remedy uses real filmed video sequences blended with in-engine graphics, live musical performances, and meta-narrative twists that reward players who are paying full attention. Visually, it is one of the best-looking games on current hardware. Alan Wake 2 is not for everyone. It is strange, slow at times, and demands patience. But for players who want a game that genuinely tries something new and delivers on that ambition, it is a masterpiece. Remedy Entertainment proved with this game that they are one of the most creative studios in the world. Days Gone was released in 2019 by Bend Studio, and it is one of the most unfairly dismissed games in recent memory. Critics gave it average scores at launch, pointing to technical issues and a slow start. Players who actually played it through to the end discovered something different, a deeply emotional, post-apocalyptic story with one of the best open worlds Sony has ever published. You play as Deacon St. John, a biker and former outlaw, surviving 2 years after a pandemic has turned most of humanity into fast-moving infected called Freakers. The Freaker hordes are the game's most impressive technical achievement. Hundreds of infected moving together as a single organism, reacting to sound and light, capable of overwhelming you completely if you are unprepared. Navigating around or through a massive horde is some of the most tense gameplay available in any open-world game. Deacon's motorcycle adds a survival layer. Fuel, repairs, and upgrades matter throughout the entire game. What critics missed was the story. Deacon St. John is a genuinely compelling protagonist, and his relationship with Sarah, believed dead, whose fate drives the entire narrative, is handled with real emotional weight. Days Gone deserved far better than it received. Play it before judging it by its score. It is one of the best games on PS4 and PC. Full stop. Tomb Raider 2013 was developed by Crystal Dynamics and released in 2013, and it completely reinvented one of gaming's most iconic characters. Rather than the confident, wisecracking Lara Croft of the original games, this is a young Lara on her first real expedition, inexperienced, scared, and forced to become a survivor when her ship crashes near a mysterious island off the coast of Japan. The story of how a young woman transforms through trauma and necessity into the Lara Croft we know is told with surprising emotional honesty. The island of Yamatai is beautifully designed. Dense forests, ancient ruins, enemy camps, and weather-battered coastal cliffs all feel part of a cohesive, dangerous whole. The gameplay blends third-person cover shooting with platforming, exploration, and light puzzle solving. Crafting and upgrade systems add depth without becoming overwhelming. The bow, Lara's primary weapon early in the game, is satisfying to use in a way that few games have managed before or since. Crystal Dynamics proved with this game that rebooting a beloved franchise does not mean destroying what made it special. Tomb Raider 2013 is the foundation that all three reboot games built on, and it remains the best of the trilogy. In 2026, with 2 new Tomb Raider games arriving, this is the perfect time to go back and experience where the modern Lara began. God of War was released in 2018 by Santa Monica Studio, and it is by most measures one of the best games ever made. Taking the rage-filled Spartan warrior Kratos, who spent the original trilogy murdering Greek gods, and reimagining him as a father struggling to raise his young son Atreus in Norse mythology, was a risk that paid off completely. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus is the emotional core of the entire game, and watching it develop over the course of their journey is one one of the most affecting experiences in gaming. The entire game is presented as a single, unbroken camera shot. No cuts, no loading screens, no chapter breaks. It is a technical and artistic achievement that keeps you constantly present in the world. Combat is rebuilt from scratch, slower and more deliberate than the original trilogy, with the Leviathan axe as one of the most satisfying weapons ever designed. Throwing it, watching it arc through enemies, and recalling it with a button press never stops feeling good. The Norse mythology setting, the 9 realms, the Aesir gods, the creatures, is brought to life with extraordinary detail and care. God of War is the rare game that works as pure entertainment, as a showcase of technical achievement, and as a genuinely moving story about fatherhood and the weight of your past. Perfect in every way that matters. The Last of Us was first released in 2013 by Naughty Dog, and it is the game that more than any other convinced a generation that video games could tell stories with the emotional power and craft of the best films and novels. Set 20 years after a fungal pandemic has destroyed civilization, you play as Joel, a broken, hardened survivor who is tasked with smuggling a teenage girl named Ellie across the dangerous ruins of the United States. What begins as a job becomes something far more complicated and human. The game's greatest achievement is its characters. Joel and Ellie feel like real people, their relationship evolving naturally over the course of the journey through genuine shared experience. The world they travel through is beautifully designed, with nature reclaiming abandoned cities in ways that feel both beautiful and mournful. Combat is brutal and deliberate. Stealth is often the only viable option, and every confrontation carries real tension because resources are scarce and enemies are genuinely dangerous. The ending of The Last of Us is one of the most discussed conclusions in gaming history, and it holds up completely because the entire game earns it. The Part 1 remake, released in 2022, brings the original to current hardware with stunning visuals. If you have a PS5 or PC, play it now. This is not just a great game, it is a landmark. Elden Ring was released in 2022 by From Software, directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, and created in collaboration with author George R.R. Martin, who helped build the game's mythology and lore. It took the demanding, punishing combat philosophy of Dark Souls and applied it to an enormous open world for the first time. The lands between, a sprawling, interconnected continent filled with legacy dungeons, hidden catacombs, massive bosses, and a density of secrets that the gaming world spent months collectively uncovering. The freedom Elden Ring gives you is its greatest strength. Unlike linear Souls games, you can approach the world in almost any order. If a boss is too difficult, you can leave, explore, level up, and return. The game never forces you into a single path. That freedom, combined with the tight, deliberate combat From Software is known for, creates an experience that feels endlessly rewarding. Every area has something worth finding. Every boss has a pattern worth learning. Every death teaches you something. Elden Ring won Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2022 and sold over 25 million copies. Extraordinary numbers for a game that demands patience and punishes mistakes. It proved that difficulty done right is not a barrier, but an invitation. 2 years later, the Shadow of the Earth Tree expansion arrived and matched the quality of the base game. This is as close to perfect as games get. Black Myth: Wukong was released in August 2024 by Game Science, a relatively small Chinese studio, and it became one of the most significant gaming events in years. Based on the Chinese classic novel Journey to the West, you play as the Destined One, a warrior who retraces the steps of the legendary Monkey King Sun Wukong across 6 breathtaking chapters of ancient Chinese mythology. The game sold over 20 million copies in its first year and peaked at over 2 million concurrent players on Steam on launch day, making it one of the biggest PC launches in history. The combat is built around transformation abilities. You can transform into defeated enemies and bosses using their powers in combat. Staff fighting is fast, fluid, and endlessly satisfying. Each chapter introduces new mechanics, new environments, and new bosses that push you to master everything you have learned. The game runs on Unreal Engine 5 and is one of the best-looking games ever made. Lush forests, ancient temples, volcanic landscapes, and snowy mountain peaks, all rendered with extraordinary detail. Black Myth Wukong proved that Chinese studios can build world-class premium single-player games that compete with anyone. It opened a new era for global game development and showed that there is a massive audience for mythology-based action RPGs rooted in non-Western culture. It is the biggest gaming story of 2024, and it deserves every sale it earned. That is all 10 games. Old or new, every single one of these earned its place on this list. Red Dead Redemption 2 is still unmatched in open-world detail. The Last of Us still hits harder than almost anything made since. And Black Myth Wukong just proved in 2024 that this medium still has room to surprise us completely. Drop a comment below telling me which one is your personal 10 out of 10. And if there's a game you think belongs on this list that I missed, let me know. Hit the like button and subscribe if this was useful. New gaming videos every week on GameStrike.